So that's the idea of positive reinforcement. Behaviors are learned and encouraged when we get rewarded or rewarded. Who's ever been punished before? I'm sure nobody here has been punished, right? You had to be good for Santa Claus. We all get punished, don't we? Do rats get punished?
Yes.
No, they don't get punished. No, you don't have to use punishment. You don't have to use rewards. But you do got to use something. The idea behind this conditioning is called operant conditioning. I don't expect you kids to remember that. Operant conditioning says that we learn behaviors through consequences. And there's a guy named B.F. Skinner, who's a psychologist. He said that all the behaviors we do were either reinforced or punished in some way. And that's how we learn, and that's how we shape our behaviors. It's called the operant conditioning theory. It's a big word, boring psychology stuff. So you kids will take psychology for 10 years. So, we're going to let this rat score a couple baskets and get questions, and then we'll test the rat. But if you guys are into this stuff, we can talk about Pavlov afterwards when we're done. Anybody wants to stick around? I know there's a lot of small kids. They don't want to hear about Pavlov. So, let's get questions for now. And then we'll test the rat. Any questions? Yeah.
How did you train them to only go into a certain group?
That's a good example, actually, of not using punishments. Punishments are intended to change bad behavior, right? I wanted each rat to score in their own basket. I want the gray rat to always score here. I want the white rat to always score here. They used to score in the wrong basket sometimes, and if I wanted to, I could have punished them. It does work, right? You can learn that way. But I didn't want to punish my rats. So instead, they only ever got a treat if they scored in the right basket, but we ignored them if they scored in the wrong basket. And now they never score in the wrong basket. They learn the proper behavior, right? So we just don't reward them if they go in a different basket. Any questions? Yeah.
So does that mean you literally have certain rats that are trained to go to the right basket?
Yeah, all the white rats,
to go to the left?
all the light colored rats go here, all the gray rats go here. That way we can grab any two and play against each other. So, yeah, that's how we do it. It's easier that way. Any other? Yeah, in the back. On a team, you said? If you put more than two in there, they'll be way more interested in sniffing each other and wrestling than basketball, which could be fun. But this isn't rat wrestling. But she knows who's sick. But she held on. Yeah, we just do one-on-one. It's just easier. Rats are very curious, but they're very smart. There's a reason that this is not hamster basketball. And this isn't gerbil basketball or guinea pig basketball. Rats are almost as smart as dogs. And they get used for a lot of psychology experiments and a lot of training. And they do a lot of the things that they sometimes do with dogs, too. They're smart. Yeah. They do. Rats do get the same treat over and over again. They're not picky. We had one rat once who didn't like grape nut cereal, and it was a real pain. We had to get new food just for her. But these rats are all not picky like most rats. Let's hear it for Barbara and Irene. We're going to talk about petting them. Anybody who wants to stick around, we can talk about Pavlov and more about operant conditioning and stuff. But we're not going to pet Barbara. She doesn't like it. She might bite you. But Irene here has never bitten anybody. A couple rules real quick. Very simple rules. One, when they're in our hands, they're very friendly. They don't bite. When they're in the cage, they do bite. Don't put your finger in this cage. You can look at these rats from afar, but don't get too close, because they'll get you. And they have sharp teeth, it'll make you bleed. She's used to people, we get her as a baby, we hold them a lot, they're not going to hurt you. But don't hurt her, don't yank on her tail, don't squeeze her, just touch her on the back with maybe one or two fingers. doesn't have the bubonic plague. She doesn't live in a sewer. She doesn't have rabies. She's not a weird mutant. But she is a rat. And she's an animal. And that means you gotta do what after you touch her? Wash your hands, right? It doesn't matter what animal you touch. She's just as clean as a hamster. They'll just come with diseases just because they're a rat. But you do always want to wash your hands. There's sanitizer right outside the door. There's a bathroom down the hall. And then finally, make room for the people behind you once you pet her. Step out of the way so other people can pet her. So come on up if you